If you've never built a dashboard before, this is where most of the Power BI developers get stuck. I'll walk you through step-by-step guide how to build this particular report, how we are looking right now, even though you don't have any experience in Power BI. Hello friends, welcome to Gokul Tech. In this video, I'm going to show you how to build a report like this in simple way, even though if you're absolute beginner to the Power BI. To build a report, you need few key steps to start with and to end with. What are those steps? If you see, I have noted down all those key steps. The first one will be understand the data. Whichever the data you are going to build or you are going to use to build a report, you need to understand it first. That's a first and foremost requirement. The second will be import the data, ideally that is getting connected to the report with your Power BI desktop version. The third will be the data cleaning. It is most an important thing where residuals will be get removed from your data set. Fourth will be building a key visuals. Absolutely, it is most important. The reason because what are the key things you need to display on the report, it should be present over there. The last will be taking care of the alignment and fixing it to the proper design. That's how it will work. Let's start the show. So I'm switching my key to open a new blank report, and before that let's walk through the data. That's the first step, right? So the data set which I'm going to use is about a product sales region, which is absolutely deals with the sales of a particular store of multiple products. So ideally we have roughly around 20 columns, and probably I can say we have 1500 row items. So it's a very minimal data set, we can say. And then you can see the key columns. Whenever you see the data is about the date, since it's a sales, you should have a date properly, and unit price, the total price, whatever you got, and then the region manager or the product, which product and which region it belongs to. So maximum these things will deals with you to get more and more better understanding of the data. So ideally this is a sales data. Obviously it will contain key things, which is total amount of sales, how many things returned, from which region, from which salesperson, who is the region manager, and which date to which date, which is the product. All those things will be covered over here, including the promotion. You can say in the column L we have seen free shipping, save 10% offer, winter offer, all those things were covered up, right? So that's how it is, the data is containing. Now let's get this data into Power BI. Ideally this will be the second phase, which is you should build a connection between your raw data and your Power BI report, so that it will get synced up and the data will be loaded into a Power BI machine. So let's go to our blank report. And now before going that, we are going to take the data from Excel, right? You need to close your Excel file, whichever you are going to use, since it will make some connection disruptions when you are importing the data. So this will be your primary area, which is get data, and once you click on this drop down, you can see multiple options available. Since we are going to get the data from Excel, you can click on over here or over here, but I just want to take you through the existing options. You can see it covers all the values. If you want to take it from the file or from the database, Microsoft Fabric platforms, Power platforms, Azure, online, all those things will be covered over here, but I'm going to get it from Excel workbook. Connect, and you can see the pop-up loads. I'm going to take it the product sales region data. So now it's got connected, and you can see that only the one sheet is available, and this is built over here, right? Now this is the way we are going to connect the data. Just click on sheet 1 and you can load the data, get the data into a Power BI desktop. Just notice this particular area, which is called as transform data. That will help you for the next step, which is cleaning the data or making the data user friendly for our Power BI report. Okay, so till now we have discussed how to understand the data and how to connect the data. Now we are going to see how to clean up the data, or like making the data user friendly or error free to prepare a report. Let's click on load. So this will get the data loaded. 1500 rows is loaded, and you can see the sheet 1, all the column names getting appeared over here. right? Now our data is cleanly loaded. How I just want to see the data, how it is distributed. You can see the date column is not in a proper date format, and the same goes for the order date, delivery date also. Ideally it should be in a date format, but I can see it is in a number format, right? So to get this one fixed, what I have to do is, you can see there is an option called transform data. Click over here and you can see transform data. It will take you to the new window which is called as Power Query Editor window. So from here you can make the necessary changes, which is addition of a column, removal of a column. All the data cleaning activity can be handled within this Power Query Editor. Addition, removal of rows, deleting of the rows, adding multiple rows also based on the calculations, columns, measures. All these things can be achieved over here, right? Now you can see this is in the number format of the date, but I don't want that to be in the number format. I just want to make it as a date format. Once you click on that, it will ask replace current step, add new step, and cancel. The reason why it is asking replace current is whenever you load the data, automatically it will detect the data type and it will use to load it, but it fails to load because there may be some reasons to get this one as a date format. We can add it. So I'm going to add as date and in a new step, so that we can able to understand, okay, this is a new step where we have converted the date. If you want to reverse this change, you just click on this cross. You can see that date will be put it back to numbers, but ideally now I want it to date. Click over here, change it to date format, add new step. It is changed to date formatting, and here also I'm gonna change this into date format. And I can see there is no error marked in this column quality. You can see valid percentage 100 and error is 0% and empty is 0%. So ideally, which means there is no error in the upcoming cells. And you can see 25% is empty, which means there is a null value. It is not about error values. So all the column of this particular data looks good. Now I am going to click on close and apply, where you can see the data will get completely loaded into Power BI. Right now, let's start with the building of a report. For each and every report, there is a first thing, which is a title should be added. Right. So for adding a title, what I have to do is I am going to click on insert text box, and this will be my title box. I'm going to make it center aligned, changing the values to 24 points, and I'm making it as sales analysis dashboard. Right, that's it. So now we can see this is created. We can double check over here. I just mentioned as sales analysis report. If you want, I'll just copy this and paste over here. To make it bold, select the data and click on bold. It will get automatically bold enough. The formatting will handle in the last of our video, but for now we'll start focusing on building the report. Now, as a stakeholder, or consider yourself as a business owner. So what you will do, first things, you want to see the key important things which is available on your data set to showcase the data, right? So for that, since it's a sales data, what are the things we need to understand? I need to first find how many number of orders processed, or else you can say how many number of sales happened. Since this is an online store, right? So we can get the total number of orders placed, right? To show that, there is a visual card. You can see it over here. Click on this card, it will get populated over here. Now take the order ID and make it as a count. It says 1.5k, meaning 1500 rows are available, or else you can say 1500 rows are added. Orders are placed in the given data set. Right now, I got a story where it started with I got 1500 orders. Okay, so in that 1500 orders, what is my total amount of price happened? I mean, the total amount of sales happened. So for that, we have a column called total price, where it deals with the total amount of sales happened, right? So I can see, total number of orders placed and total amount of sales happened. And not only the orders placed, we need to showcase how many orders returned, because this will help us to plan our strategy according to the stop the number of returns. Ideally, if we say 1500 orders, 300 orders are returned, ideally it is almost 20% of your order, more than 20% of your, of course 20 to 23% of your order got returned. So this alarms me that okay, most of the time I'm getting orders, but I am getting returns also. So I need to figure out what will be the reason to find it out. So this is the way you have to build a report where it should narrate a story, okay, like count of order ID, total price, and sum of returned. Like these all the things we have showcased, which is a very key important pointers. The next will be, okay, this is okay, but still I want to see which time range this happened. So for that I'm going to add a date in the slicer and change this into between. You can hover on anywhere to get your result accordingly, right? This is how the major or first you can be added, right? The next comes to our proper picturizing or graph creating strategy. You can see the first graph which I created is total price by year, ideally which says how many number of sales happened per year. So for that I have used the line chart, and I'm going to take this date column as x-axis and removing all the other values and taking the total price in the y-axis. You can see this is my first thing to show, okay, year on year this is my count, like this is how much the sales happened. The next will be my sales by region. So okay, ideally I can say year on year this is what my sales happened. Okay, I just want to see the region wise sales. You can see it over here. It is not necessary to keep the same chart which I am showcasing. It's up to your creativity to showcase wherever or whichever the chart is suitable for your report, you can utilize it. So now I can see that year on year what is my sales and the region wise sales. So next, what will be the option to showcase the data? Total price by salesperson. So now I want to analyze the sales by the salesperson, because that will help us to identify, to in the time of promotion or you are giving any salary increments, all those things will be depends on this report. The reason, because this particular value help us to understand who performed the most, which person converted our sales compared to the others, right? So that is where these three charts are added up. The fourth will be my price by product. Okay, so meaning what are my product and what are my sales amount, meaning which product is giving more sales comparing to the others. So I can see the tablet is giving more or getting more sales comparing to the phone. Phone is the least and tablet is the highest amount of sale turnover. Then the fifth will be my payment method. So which customer is going to give me the payment method, like which is the optimal method the customer is choosing. So I'm going to get it over here. Out of which online transaction got almost 9,71,115.15 amount of sale. With the debit card it is released with 770,420.66. The last will be which is my another way to showcase this data. We have product wise done, we have salesperson wise done, we are good with the payment method also. So now let's take another dimension to showcase our data. So I can take promotion wise which is giving me the more sales. For this, I'm going to take the donut chart and taking this total price. It says without offers we are getting 1.7 million sales, but free shipping got 1.24, which is a highest amount of sales happened. So meaning our customers turning out when you are offering the free shipping into your product sales. So now this is giving an entire story for me, where I can see now my total number of orders delivered and total price. What is the total amount of sales? Price is nothing but the sales. How many orders returned, and then the bottom will show me the story of year-on-year sales and the region wise, the further deeper salesperson wise, and total price of a product, payment method, along with the promotion type. So these are all the key important factors which I felt for this particular report and I have created. Even if you think you can add the other things, we have the customer type and the region manager wise, we can add it out. So now this is fine, but still I just want to segregate it based on the location wise and region wise. I need to add more visual, but if I add more visual, this page becomes very clumsy and it's difficult to read. So for that, what I'm going to use is the important factor called as slicer or filter. So click on it and I'm going to add it as first thing is region wise. So this is the region wise data where we are going to, based on the selection of a region, you can see the values are getting adjusted. So this will be my one filter. The second which I'm going to use is the store location, and here we have it as store ABCD. Obviously it's fine, we'll have it as a store ABCD. And the third option we can use is what we can use, region done. Let's say which we have used, store location, region, and customer type. Customer type. We have two customer types, which is wholesale customer and retail customers. That also can be added over here. So that's it. We are good with our report now. All the necessary things has been taken care already, and we are good to start with the show of formatting, which is our customizing. Now this shows the previous step of, or the backbone of the report is ready, which is containing all the essential details in the report. And to get the dimensions, we have added in the filter or slicer and chart showing the further details. Right now, let's get into the phase of formatting, and then we'll move it forward for the another video. Okay, now let's start with the option of existing things called themes. If you see an option called here as view, and this says as a themes, right? You can choose any theme you want to add on. So I'm going to select some predefined theme over here, or you can use it here. This is the theme which I'm going to use it. Now you can see the background color is purely white, but I feel like we can add the background color also. Go to the formatting options and you can see page information. You can see canvas background. I'm going to use the mild gray, which is white 10% darker, and if I increase or decrease the transparency, I can able to see the values. I'm just giving it as 12% transparency. Now I can see a lot of alignment to be done over here, right? Let's start it one by one. So now the idea is to make this text box with border green and shadow. That's what we have given over here. Let's go back to our thing and effects, visual border, and add the color of this particular green and make it 3px. Done. You are getting your value, and still I feel like you want to make it little more rounded in shape. We can do that. How we are going to do is effects, visual border. You can see rounded corners. I'm going to increase it for 3%. This is rounded now, right? Yeah. The next will be this date slicer. This I'm going to fit into this particular area, and let's say values. This is the minimal 8, and the slider is visible now. Again, do the same thing. Go to format, effects, visual border. 3 will be my rounded corner option, and the color will be this green. Now this is added somehow, right? Let's come back to here, this particular card. You can see this is not meaning good. If I say 1.5k and count of order ID, all those things, I just want to rename everything over here. For that, you can see in this value tab count of order ID. So I'm going to replace it as total orders, and this will be my sales amount, and my return sum is to returned orders. So this is how it will work, and we are renaming it. Now this looks very odd for me with the high numbers and the decimals also, right? So I'm going to click on the format your visual option, and you can see there is an option called callout. Click over here. In total orders, my value size should be 18, where it will give me, or else you can go for 12, right? Looks a little odd, so we'll go for 15, and the color is black is fine, and the alignment should be here, center aligned, and display units, it should be none. You can see this is automatically over here. Hope really you are excited to know how to convert this unaligned or misaligned report to this particular report. This we are going to discuss completely in detail in upcoming session 2 video of building your first report. Stay tuned. We'll meet you in the next super exciting session of aligning the visuals in proper format. See you in the next video. Until then, bye from me. Thank you. Have a great day. Happy learning.